Big E opens up on possibly facing Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Braun Strowman reacts to WWE's Goldberg's update, and WWE announces the Summer of Cena. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. To stay up to date with all of our content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hall of Famer comments on why Goldberg is used in WWE. Goldberg returned to WWE TV on the Raw after Money in the Bank to challenge WWE Champion Bobby Lashley. The Hall of Famer Bully Ray has explained why Vince McMahon likes Goldberg and brings him back to WWE time and time again. In the most recent edition of Busted Open, Bully Ray was unhappy with Goldberg's return to WWE. The Hall of Famer believes WWE Chairman Vince McMahon likes Goldberg's look and hence uses him from time to time in WWE, saying, quote, "Fans are back in attendance. The WWE Universe is excited. Goldberg is a WWE Hall of Famer. They put him out there. They keep seeing what they can get out of him. They must be getting something out of him. And I know Vince likes him. Goldberg is an older gentleman who still goes to the gym, looks phenomenal, and Vince McMahon is a mark for that kind of stuff. So opportunities and chances are still given." End quote. Bully Ray stated that if WWE believes that their fans enjoy watching Goldberg, that they are doing so in the best interest of their fan base. He argued, though, that the internet wrestling community may not like watching Goldberg. It's well known that Goldberg has a WWE contract until 2023, where he is contracted to wrestle 2 matches per year. The WWE Hall of Famer has wrestled once this year when he faced then WWE Champion Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Goldberg defeated The Fiend last year to win the Universal Championship for the second time, but lost it a month later to Braun Strowman at WrestleMania 36. He had 2 matches in 2019 as well, first wrestling The Undertaker in a disastrous botch-filled match in Saudi Arabia, and later against Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam. Update on Xia Li following injury scare during NXT Women's Championship match. The main event of this week's episode of the Black and Gold brand saw Xia Li challenge Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. Li, who is a part of the Tian Sha faction, came out to face Gonzalez by herself this week without Boa or Mei Ying. The match itself was a great one to watch, but one of the scariest moments came just before the finish, as it looked like Xia Li had suffered a serious injury. Gonzalez performed a corner slingshot senton splash, which saw her land directly on top of Li. Unfortunately, it looked as though Xia Li was unable to bring her hands up in time, thereby exposing her ribs. Li was tended to by doctors for a while before getting up to take the tequila shot from Raquel Gonzalez to end the match. Following the main event, Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful provided an update on Xia Li's injury scare via Twitter. He was told that the NXT superstar appeared to be doing fine when seen backstage. It's great to hear that Xia Li is doing fine. She has been one of the most intriguing performers to watch on NXT, and an injury to her would have proven to be a major blow for the brand. Xia Li may have had an injury scare this week, but there can be no denying just how good her performance was during the majority of the match. She is certainly deserving of another opportunity, but may require some more help next time. Li came out by herself this week to take on the NXT Women's Champion, but if she were ever to get another shot in the future, she should consider bringing Tian Sha along. Big E opens up on possibly facing Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. The 2021 Money in the Bank pay-per-view was a career-changing night for Big E. He outlasted 7 other superstars in the unforgiving ladder match to win the coveted contract in his first appearance. He has until next year to cash in the contract for either the Universal or WWE Championship. If Big E chooses the latter, he'll have to go through the almighty Bobby Lashley to capture the title. Lashley brutalized and defeated his close friend Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston inside Hell in a Cell on an episode of Raw and at Money in the Bank, respectively. Speaking to DAZN, Big E was asked what would it mean for him to face Bobby Lashley for the WWE title if he chooses to cash in his contract on him, saying, quote, I think it really does have a lot of significance. I think that's a great point. As far as you know, 2 black men competing for that title is incredible. I think it also means more to me because I think Bobby has done an incredible job elevating himself. I think seeing him with the Hurt Business with MVP, he's a guy who you know had what it took, but wasn't there. I think back to the stuff with him and Sammy. When you watch that program, you don't think future world champion. He was in that doldrum of sorts. I think this last year when I watched him, he looks like the guy to me. He looks like a star. He moves like a star. He performs like a star. I think he's incredibly talented. It's odd to think that at 45, he's really hitting his stride. End quote. Bobby Lashley and Kofi Kingston had a history-making match at Money in the Bank, as it was the first time that 2 African Americans went one-on-one for the WWE Championship. Big E also made history that night by becoming the first African American to win the Money in the Bank contract. Big E's incredible triumph on Sunday received a lot of acclaim from many fans and wrestlers. It's safe to say that the WWE Universe could be looking at their next WWE or Universal Champion. Braun Strowman reacts to WWE's Goldberg update. Goldberg made his return to WWE this week on Monday Night Raw and is now expected to challenge Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. The former Universal Champion was last seen in a WWE ring when he was defeated by Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble in January. Ahead of his 2021 return, Goldberg faced off against Braun Strowman at WrestleMania 36. The Monster Among Men was able to dethrone the champion in a match where he was the last-minute substitution for Roman Reigns, was forced to withdraw due to health reasons. WWE recently shared an image on their Instagram account regarding Goldberg's return, where the company talked about how intimidating Goldberg's stare could be. WWE also decided to miss Braun Strowman out of the slideshow of Goldberg's recent opponents. Strowman reacted to this update with a smiley face. Strowman obviously knows Goldberg very well since he was able to defeat him just over a year ago. The COVID-19 pandemic caused a number of changes to WWE, including WrestleMania. Roman Reigns was forced to withdraw from his match against Goldberg and was then replaced by Braun Strowman. Strowman went on to defeat the Universal Champion at WWE's Performance Center as a part of WrestleMania, which was Goldberg's last appearance of 2020. Despite his World Championship reign and the fact that Strowman was a part of the main championship picture, the Monster Among Men was released from the company alongside several other stars last month. WWE announces the Summer of Cena. John Cena shocked the WWE Universe last Sunday when he made his emphatic return to the company at Money in the Bank. The 16-time world champion returned following the main event of the pay-per-view, which saw Roman Reigns defeat Edge. John Cena made his plans known on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, confirming that the WWE Universal Championship is his priority now that he is back in the company. It looks like this will all lead to a bout between himself and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. However, there is still plenty of time between now and SummerSlam, which has had fans wondering what exactly John Cena's schedule will be like. Fans can now rest easy as WWE has confirmed the Summer of Cena and released his full schedule on their website. John Cena will be featured in 14 different shows leading up to SummerSlam. This includes episodes of both SmackDown and Raw, as well as a few Super Show appearances. The cities of Minneapolis, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland, to name a few, will all be graced by the presence of John Cena. It will certainly be a summer to remember as the leader of the C Nation looks to add another accolade to his impressive WWE resume. John Cena made it clear that he has his sights set on the Universal title. However, that title is currently held by one of the most dominant superstars in WWE, Roman Reigns. The two have faced each other before, last meeting in an official match at No Mercy where the Tribal Chief came out on top. Nevertheless, the leader of the C Nation wants another crack at Reigns, but his return has not fazed the head of the table at all. In fact, he is confident that Cena has only come back to acknowledge him and then leave again. Regardless of whether or not John Cena will acknowledge Roman Reigns, we will certainly be in for some interesting exchange of words and blows between both men. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories and exclusive content, make sure you follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.